I started working towards goals that didn't only have to do with me, and I was thinking about things that didn't only have to do with my life. I found out what I wanted to do with my life. I'm currently studying community studies in college, and I kind of want to go to sociology, and all this is because I had the time and the patience to just sit with the youth engagement team, and they had the patience to sit with me to help me figure it out. Shame became empowerment. The things which I was uncomfortable talking about, all of a sudden I was able to talk about with a power, and the stigma that was once there in these things that made me uncomfortable was kind of turned on its head. And the thing which I found really cool was teaching peers about what's actually important to me. So I had a list of things which is important to me beforehand, and now I can go out there and I'm confident to teach my peers about it. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Also 21. I'd like to build upon Peter's discussion on youth engagement. My three topics would be personal empowerment, valuable information, and resources. Personally, I entered YSB at a really critical time in my life. I didn't know what I was doing. I ran away from home. I dropped out of school, started engaging in risky behaviors. I was referred to YSB to a counselor who really listened to me and gave me everything I needed. And as an extra, she asked me to participate in her youth engagement program. As a way to give back, I didn't really know what I was doing really, so I took part in the youth engagement program. And from there, I was empowered. I was able to learn about my community's needs. I was able to target those issues by training and educating. I felt a sense of pride, a sense of self-esteem in being an expert on some issues that I now know of. By being in the youth engagement program, I was surrounded by resources and information on harm reduction, mental health, and with all those information and all the contacts around me, I was able to be exposed to the resources that would help me mediate my own mental health and help me really target and see the issues that my friends would be facing that I would have seen as invisible before. Also, with the skills I was given, the skills I was practicing through youth engagement, I have a lot of employability skills. My resume is awesome right now because of YSB. So again, personal empowerment, valuable information, and resources is my three topics. Thank you.
We're going to move over to Emily. Okay. And Emily, I know you don't have any notes because you have it all on top of your head, right?
Yeah.
So what are your three key ingredients?
Well, I don't have three because I don't want to spread myself too thin over this period of time. The main thing that I think would make Ottawa a suicide safer community would be training the people that work closely with our youth about suicide so that they would feel more comfortable asking youth if they were feeling suicidal. Training teachers, training police officers, training youth group leaders, that sort of thing, so that they felt comfortable linking youth to resources when they needed them. I also think that it should be more a part of our curriculum in school to learn more about mental health and mental illness, to kind of take away the stigma and the shame that youth are feeling as a part of a health program or something like that, and even incorporating it into like maybe a group in school, as we have like GLBTQ pride groups, having something for mental health, that would help too. I also think that in Ottawa we lack a transition, if that's a word, period for youth who are no longer in the youth system and are transitioning into the adult system. And between the ages of like 16 and 18, that sort of thing, we kind of lack bridging between one organization and the other. We need to have more communication between those two so that we can link youth who are still at risk at youth to become healthier adults. Yeah, that's what I think will make Ottawa a suicide safer community. Thank you.
That's good. So Emily, it sounds like you really want us to get our act together.
Maybe. Just a little.
Just a little. Okay. Emily.
I'm Hannah.
I'm sorry. Hannah, you're Emily. And I promised I wouldn't have made a mistake.
That's okay.
So Hannah, you get to say the last three things.
Okay, so my things are very similar to Emily's. I just really believe that youth should really be at the center of things. So if you want to know how to make it a suicide safer Ottawa for youth, ask the youth. We know what we want. And then once you have us at the center of it, then have the people orbiting us and influencing us, have them know what they're actually talking about. So like Emily said, teaching our teachers what they're supposed to know to help us. Getting support groups for our parents to know what to ask us, what to say to us. And then also helping them because they're our support system, but how are they supposed to be able to support us if they're not being supported? And then finally, I think that everyone should get on the same page because I feel that a lot of groups who are supporting mental health are on a lot of different pages. And I know that when I was looking for resources, I had a million, but I didn't know which ones to choose. So if there was one resource that could branch off into all the resources, then that would be a lot easier. And my final point is that mental health isn't really a business. So there shouldn't be any competition between like, oh, come to our resource, we have better resources and we're being funded or whatever. I think, and there shouldn't be any miscommunications because the mental health workers for youth are working for youth, so their main focus should be us as opposed to like how much money they're going to make or how to just shuttle us off to a different place and get us better quicker. I think that if they were to be able to take care of us the moment that we feel depressed and not when we're at risk and at crisis, then it would be really great if there would be less fires to put out if we were able to just like take away the match. That's what I think.